We all know that Spider-Man No Way Home was a massive hit because it brought back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. So how can Marvel top that? The answer might be in just 3 words: RDJ. Iron Man kicked off the MCU, and even though his character is dead, Robert Downey Jr. is set to return in Avengers, Doomsday, and the new Fantastic Four First Step movie. Plus, there are whispers about a Deadpool and Spider-Man crossover that could pick up where No Way Home left off. Let's dive into what we know about these exciting upcoming movies. Let's dive into what we know about a Deadpool and Spider-Man crossover potentially continuing from No Way Home's post-credits scene. The crossover could adapt Venom's first major encounter with both heroes from the comics, which would pick up on the plot hinted at in No Way Home. For Marvel fans, seeing Spider-Man, Deadpool, and Wolverine together is a dream come true, especially since the MCU wasn't originally set up to include all these characters together. Sean Levy, before Deadpool and Wolverine hits theaters, has shown interest in a Deadpool and Spider-Man team-up. There are lots of ways this could happen, from a shared adventure with Daredevil to a full-on Deadpool vs. Spider-Man movie. But if we don't get that team-up right away, these characters might cross paths in Avengers: Secret Wars. In the 1985 Secret Wars storyline, Spider-Man finds his iconic black suit after his original costume is damaged, and it turns out to be a symbiote that becomes Venom. Deadpool's Secret Wars reveals that Deadpool also bonded with the symbiote during this event, but was later erased from everyone's memory. If the MCU follows this, the symbiote from No Way Home might bond with Deadpool before finding Spider-Man. This would set up Spidey's black suit and Venom's in the MCU. The teaser from No Way Home might be one of the quickest ways to bring Deadpool and Spider-Man together. With Avengers, Secret Wars, featuring tons of characters, it's likely the film will use Deadpool's role and Spider-Man's first encounter with the symbiote to follow up on that tease. Deadpool's chaotic nature might be a great fit for the symbiote, and his interactions with Spider-Man could lead to a new friendship. If Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock is finishing his story with Venom: The Last Dance, the symbiote could find new hosts in the MCU. Deadpool could be the first, with his venomized personality, making it easier for audiences to accept different symbiote hosts. Characters like Matt Gargan, Flash Thompson, and Lee Price could all be future hosts, with Deadpool's adventures setting the stage for Venom's role in the MCU. Now, as for how RDJ's Doctor Doom might pop up in Spider-Man 4, that's a whole different ballgame. The idea draws from the classic comic storyline Iron Man, Demon in an Armor, crafted by David Michelinie and Bob Layton, who are famous for their iconic Iron Man tales. They're behind the original Armor Wars and the gripping Demon in a Bottle saga. But there's one storyline that's flown under the radar: Doom Quest, with artwork by John Romita Jr. In this arc, Iron Man, after discovering that one of his employees has sold tech to Dr. Doom, ends up clashing with Doom, which activates Doom's time machine and hurls them back to Camelot. Iron Man and Doom face off against Morgana Le Fay, and their battle not only deepens Doom's grudge, but also leads to a follow-up adventure where they time travel again. During their Camelot sojourn, Iron Man teams up with the Knights of the Round Table, while Doom allies with Morgana. Imagine a variant of RDJ's Iron Man in the MCU that looks like Tony Stark, but turns out to be Doctor Doom. In the comics, Doom and Spider-Man have had their share of run-ins, so it's not too far-fetched to envision a scenario where Doom confronts Spider-Man and says, "There's no Tony Stark here, kid." It could set up an intriguing dynamic and add a fresh twist to Spider-Man's adventures in Spider-Man 4. Speaking of comic book stories that could lead into Spider-Man 4, there's another major connection we shouldn't overlook: the Future Foundation. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is gearing up to finally introduce the Fantastic Four in 2025, marking their first film under Marvel Studios. This new take on Marvel's first family follows a few less successful attempts at the big screen, but the excitement is building. At San Diego Comic-Con, we got our first glimpse of the Fantastic Four, and they included a nod to the Future Foundation. In the comics, Spider-Man and Dr. Doom are part of this elite group. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is set to return in Spider-Man 4, while Dr. Doom is yet to be cast for the MCU. While there's no official confirmation that either character will appear in the Fantastic Four, the connection is intriguing. The Future Foundation is one of Reed Richards' most ambitious creations. When Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, died temporarily, classic comic book drama, he left a will requesting that Spider-Man join the team. Peter Parker stepped up to fill that role, expanding the Foundation's mission. As for Dr. Doom, he was invited by Valeria Richards, Reed and Sue Storm's daughter, to help the team search for Reed Richards across different universes. With Spider-Man set to appear in Spider-Man 4 and the upcoming Avengers films, it's only a matter of time before he crosses paths with the Fantastic Four. And given Dr. Doom's history with the team, it's highly likely he'll make an appearance in their film as well. Both characters could eventually join the Future Foundation in the MCU, setting up exciting possibilities for future stories. Most excitingly, the Fantastic Four will introduce Johnny Storm, the hot-headed Human Torch, to the MCU. This is a game changer for Spider-Man, as Johnny will be a contemporary and potential friend for Peter Parker. They're close in age and often depicted as friends in the comics, so developing their relationship on screen could be a fantastic way to integrate both characters into the Avengers team. For Peter Parker, who's been through a lot with the loss of friends and family, having a peer like Johnny Storm could be a welcome change. It would offer him a chance to bond with another hero at his level without needing another mentor figure. This dynamic could also lead to great chemistry and help weave the Fantastic Four into the MCU more smoothly. Marvel has been figuring out how to balance its young heroes with the existing Avengers. By exploring the relationship between Spider-Man and Johnny Storm, the Fantastic Four, first steps could provide a refreshing take on integrating younger heroes into the larger superhero team. Instead of just focusing on a Young Avengers project, this approach could enhance the way younger characters are tied into the broader MCU, giving them a more natural place alongside established heroes. That said, one of the best outcomes for Peter and MJ in Spider-Man 4 would be MJ regaining her memory of Peter after the events of No Way Home. Even if she doesn't fully remember him, there are subtle ways Peter could reconnect with her, like through the Black Dahlia necklace. Given that neither Tom Holland's Peter nor Zendaya's MJ will be around forever, Spider-Man 4 needs to set the stage for a potential happy ending, whether that means them finding a normal life together or MJ supporting Peter's Spider-Man future. Despite No Way Home ending on a bittersweet note for their relationship, Zendaya's rumored return brings hope that the franchise might break the MCU's pattern of tragic couples. A happy resolution would be a great payoff for their characters and defy the expectation of MJ either dying or completely forgetting Peter. Whatever the storyline turns out to be, seeing Tom Holland and Zendaya back together would likely lead to some form of reconciliation and closure for their characters. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. What do you think of the potential crossovers and storylines for Spider-Man, Deadpool, and the Fantastic Four? How do you envision these characters interacting in the MCU? Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.